Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader, your guide to a clearer perspective. I have a message for Virgo. This is a high vibration message channeled from Spirit and my guides for your highest benefit as you navigate your spiritual journey this week. So Virgo, interesting stuff coming in for you. We have the High Priestess for the energy from the universe. This is pure streaming intuition. This is pure knowing of sense of timing, knowing what to do. This is just pure information coming to you. And it's streaming in quite strong. And I want to say this is divinely connected high knowledge, but there's a but. We have the energy for the way you react to it. We've got the Princess of Swords. And you can see even from just looking at these two cards, she's not looking here. She's not looking at the High Priestess. And although they have some of the same clothing, so the High Priestess has this lovely dark blue cloak. She has also a dark blue cloak. There's a difference in the way they're using the energy. Because this one is inviting energy in from source, from the intuition, from your higher self, however you want to put it. This one is not. This one has the potential to access that information, but she's turning her sword down, which means that the energy is going down to earth. And so she's only collecting facts and thoughts about what's around her. She's making conclusions based on what's around her and kind of using the busy part of your brain rather than this receptive, open part of your brain that really can't control what's going to come in. It just has to receive. That's all this one is doing, is receiving information. She's not reacting to it. She's not judging it. She's just receiving the information. Whereas this one is kind of assessing it and judging it and kind of looking at it and saying, well, is this best for me? Is this best for me? And there's a fickleness. You get the idea that this one could change her mind a lot, but this one is only receiving pure information. So again, she's not really making up her mind, so she can't change it. I know that sounds silly, but when you're just purely receiving information and that's your only job, there is no processing that's going on, and therefore there's really no choice yet. But there's a desire to make a quick choice, and I'm going to draw the next card just to show you. There's a desire to push something into action. This is our Chariot, and a desire to really move something forward and push it forward. We've got a lot of light around, a lot of yellow here, whereas this one is taking place at night. So it's kind of like you want this to see the light of day. You want this project to be visible. You want it seen. And so you're kind of forcing your way to the next step. And you're trying to choose a thought that is maybe aligned with the thing that's going to help you move faster. So really the underlying intent is to get this thing forced forward, to get this thing pushed forward. And those are the types of thoughts you're accepting, not necessarily the other kinds of information. Sun and moon, right? Day and night. We've got nighttime energy here and daytime energy here. You're wanting the thoughts that resonate with daytime and action. The thoughts that say, or the information that says, wait a second, there's a bigger thing happening, or we've got this also coming in, or maybe we should wait. Those thoughts are not welcome. And so this desire to push things forward is really, really clouding the way you're seeing things, clouding the way you're processing information. Let's look at the rest of the cards. I'm going to drop this princess. Nope, they're saying to keep the princess there for a second. We've got the Chariot, as I said before, the Hanged Man in the middle, and then the Star on the other side. And I feel like these three cards present as a choice. This Hanged Man is trying to choose between two. So we have, I can force it forward, or I can slow down, acknowledge that there is some piece that I'm missing that's going to lead to a bigger sense of balance and healing for me. Then I'm going to, once I surrender to that and it's ready, then it's going to flow forward. There's a lot of flow here, right? She's got the water kind of coming out on both sides. And whereas this is driven forward, really pushed forward. And I feel as though the other thing that's really interesting is that we've got that daytime thing going on here, but we've got nakedness going on here, vulnerability, and we've got masculine and feminine. Masculine on the right, masculine on this side, feminine on this side. So there's a very vulnerable kind of coming together of the light and the dark, of the active and the passive, the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And what that means is structure and flow, all needing to come together. And so there's some aspect of the feminine that needs to be healed, whether that is learning to accept more the choice that's going to engender more love, more cooperation. It's a softer energy. Even though this is a woman as well, this is a very kind of masculine warrior pushing forward energy. And there's no vulnerability. And even though it looks like we've got the light and the dark, that you could say the masculine and the feminine, even though they seem to be driving it, it's again that thought energy pushing it, not that deep interconnected energy. And maybe that's the best way to think of that feminine energy, is the interconnection. It's really surrendering to that interconnection of you with the universe, you with the project, you with the community around you, you with everything that needs to be kind of calmed down and listened to. This is also talking about that divine feminine energy. I just did a class last week on the divine feminine energy, and it was so much fun. But these are a lot of the cards that we talked about in connection with that divine feminine energy, that it's all about receiving and flow and connection. And that's what you're being asked to look at, not just how do I get this forward as fast as possible. It's really looking at all of those aspects, and the key for you is really and honestly tapping into that intuition, into your inner sense of knowing, not what you'd like to happen, not the answer you think you'd like to have, but really asking yourself, am I ready to surrender to what my intuition is telling me? Am I ready to surrender to the timing that my heart has rather than the timing that my head has? Am I ready to live and flow in accordance to the rhythm, the natural rhythm of my body and my feminine self? Or am I going to continue to push it forward? So it just says to me that on the outside, it seems like the feminine and masculine are balanced, but they're not. There's something missing. We're not listening to an active side, or the quieter side of that feminine energy. All right, they're telling me to go straight onto your advice, and we get the Ace of Wands. So this is further confirmation. Once you have surrendered to these type of energies, which are slower, talking more about connection, you will get that divine spark, which tells you which way to go forward, which gives you the start of your direction forward. And I love this card because it's like the heavens and the universe opens up so that this thing can shoot upwards and connect with that divine spark. And it means there's no obstacles in the way. This one has to be so strong, the Chariot, because she has to force her way through, because she's trying to do what the head is telling her to do. She has to force. But this one, it's open for you. The path is clear, and you just saunter on through there very easily. But it takes connecting to and surrendering to that feminine energy. So if you have questions on that, let me know, or if you'd be interested in a follow-up class, because really, like I said, it was a really fun class. I loved sharing that information. Let me know. I always love to hear from you in the comments. And I'm thinking of offering something special for Valentine's Day, maybe some universal love readings, so we can explore how you can invite more love into your life, not just if you're single, but also if you are in a relationship, ways to invite and welcome and receive love, because that's something that's not always easy for everyone. We do everything in our power not to receive it, even though it's what we crave. So let me know if you think that would be interesting. I will wait to hear from you. I love to hear from you, and look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good one.